Morning everyone, Ryan here again. Got a difficult one to talk to you about today. I had a mate of mine, or an old mate of mine who I haven't seen for a lot of years, hit me up recently because he was struggling with the death of a family member. Now this family member has been gone 10 years, so it's not a new thing. He was saying to me around the lines of, how do you get closure? How do you get closure? Firstly, like I've got closure with Jake and a few other bits and pieces, my son that died. The truth is, and I'm not a counsellor, okay, hands up, I'm just someone who's experienced probably more death than you'd like, but the truth is that there is no closure. I just don't think that that's a thing as such. I think you work around it like you do most problems in life. I think you find ways of adapting to it. I think there is closure in the awful situation where someone is perhaps missing and you don't know the outcome and you don't know what happened with them. But if you're in a situation like we were with Jake, we knew what was coming. We knew that his cancer was going to get him. We didn't know when, we didn't know how bad. And when he died peacefully, that I guess in some ways made life easier, made the whole understanding of it easier. But there's no closure. It doesn't, you don't suddenly go, oh, I've got it. It was a release in a way for the fact that he wasn't in pain anymore and it wasn't going to go as bad as we thought. But if you're sitting there for years afterwards looking for this closure mechanism that makes it all okay, in my personal experience there isn't one. My mum died over 30 years ago, and I mean, I'm not crawled up in a corner about it, but I wish it hadn't. I wish it wasn't something that had occurred in my life. My dad died when I was about 21. I wish that hadn't happened, and I wish my relationship with him had been better, and many other circumstances around that area. But I think there's probably a lot of people that deal with grief in a way that they think it's all going to be better. And it doesn't. It changes and you learn to deal with it. I mean, I have a thing where when I get very upset about Jake, that I sort of just tell him that I love him and go with that, and that makes me feel a bit better. I don't know why exactly, but it is. That's about the best I can do with it. And I know a lot of other people too that just, you get by and you deal with it. I try really hard not to roll around in misery. I try really hard not to always be in that moment. I try hard to recognise that that's what happened, that's reality, and there's nothing I can do about that. So I need to now go in a certain way that I can make the world better and try and improve myself all the time with that scar in me. Because that's what they are, I think. I think they're scars. They're mental scars, they're emotional scars that don't go away. And there is no closure, I guess. I wish I could tell you something wonderful about that and say that, yeah, it's all wonderful, but even counsellors, and I've been plenty of psychs in my time, it's all about working around a problem. It's all about learning to understand it, because that's all you got. I don't think there's any great lesson that says, oh, wow, I understand it now. And that's why there's probably the reasons for all the different faiths and all the religions that people have and lots of stuff, because they're trying to work around the difficulties of an end of life and grieving, because it's just hard. But if you're looking for closure, I don't know if it's there, and I think that's okay, because that's just what it is. But please don't sit there waiting for some miracle whilst you sit there and do the same thing all the time. If you're struggling in yourself and you're struggling with the death of someone or any type of grief, the loss of a relationship or whatever that might be, get up, get going, move forward, because some people spend their whole lives stuck in that situation, and that's not helping you, and it's certainly not helping the person that you're grieving for, because I'm pretty sure if it's a loved one, they'd want better for you than that. Because that's how I feel. I try and do better all the time, because I know Jake wouldn't want me sitting there doing that, and my other kids don't want me sitting there doing that either. So you get up and you get going, but make sure you're moving forward, people. It's a tough gig sometimes. It's not fun. I wish it was different, but when things get bad, and they will, because life's like that, you just got to get up and move forward. Put those feet on the floor, stand up, walk forward, go do better things. And there's no closure, but there is a form of healing, I think, and that's what you've got. So keep healing, keep moving forward, keep being your best. I hope that makes some sense, but I just felt like it was something I had to sort of share a bit, because there's no point in searching for the Holy Grail, because it isn't there. Thanks, hope that helps someone out there. Catch you soon.